Oh, that's nice, isn't it, Becky?
That's the other one.
What? Oh, it should be the same. Tony! Oh, yes!
Such an animal.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Llandow circuit in South Wales. For those of you that don't know much about this circuit, it's about just over a mile long. It's quite a tight circuit. It's predominantly right-handers. I'll describe it more as a giant go-kart track than an out-and-out sort of race circuit, but it's good fun. We're down here because Tony Lewis, TRL, has organised a track day for his customers and friends. So there's a number of his M140 customers, there's an M2 owner here, plus we've got Queen Bee in her 595 at Bath, we've got Sideways Sid in his Club Sport S, we've got Patrick Whelan and his 4C, there's an M2 going past me now, sweet. There's a Type R here as well, so we've got a nice collection of hot hatches and sports cars, and we've just been having loads of fun. As you can see, it's sunny and very warm, which is great, but also not that great because obviously warm weather does affect tyre temperature, and we have to come in every 4 or 5 laps just to cool down the tyres. I think that was Sideways Sid going past with Mr. Tony Lewis in the passenger seats. Anyway, what I've decided to do for this video is get Benzine Ben, who is also here, out in all of the cars as a driver, and I'll passenger lap with him. We can time the laps, time them at sort of 85–90%, just get an idea, because we've got, although there's about 6 M140s here, there's different iterations, so there's different, you know, some have got diffs, some have been Motech, so there's different variations of the M140s, and then try out some of the other cars and just see what sort of lap times we get down. They're going to be very close because it's a tight circuit, and I can't imagine it's much more than about 50 seconds or a minute a lap. Hope you enjoyed today. I'm going to go and jump in the first car and let's see what happens. Right, I'm now here with Mr. Benzine Ben. Hello! Hopefully everyone knows Benzine Ben, legend of a driver, as I've just said, and does a lot with Tim, and we've spent many road trips together.
Yeah, romantic trips.
Romantic
cruises.
trips. Yeah, we're always sharing rooms. We're going to start in his benchmark, which is the beast, the diesel, the 123D, one series coupe. Or coupe, if you're not American like me. Let's see how it goes, and yeah, and then we'll progress from there. Whoa! So I'll use that blue sign, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, ready, and go! Okay, here we go! 1, 2, 3D! Woohoo! Oh, lovely!
Oh, a bit bogged down. Oh, didn't have DCT on. Fuck, I thought I could feel the power being cut.
I think I just farted. Okay, so we're at 33 seconds. Oh, we're holding the brakes. Oh, so good at carrying speed. Whoa! Love it. Look. Right, so that was a benchmark time. As I say, that's, you know, it's Ben's daily 123D. His tyres have seen better days, so we're on like standard P0s, and yeah, sort of there's not much left in them. So, you know, that was a good benchmark sort of lap time. Now we're going to jump into the most basic M140 we've got here, that's got no mods whatsoever. See what that feels like, and excuse the helmet mark.
What do we want to be in, like, because we want to have the same mode in every car,
maybe Sport Plus and all of them.
Yeah,
Sport Plus and a Mini.
Yeah,
Sport Plus.
Yeah. Perfect.
Off to the races, boys.
No problem.
God, it's just so much quicker in a straight line, isn't it?
Yeah, massively quicker.
All track
Fucking Archie, get out of the way.
Woohoo! That was awesome! So we've just been out in the 123D and then we've been out in the stock M140.
So far so good?
So far so good.
A couple of raindrops coming down, which might affect things obviously, depending on how it goes.
Yeah, so if my car's not quicker than the stock M140, it's because of the rain, obviously, and because Ben can't drive. But no, really nice clean lap in that one. Really, yeah, really. We did a warm-up lap and then a fast lap because more than 2 or 3 laps in these things with these tyres on this track, they just overheat. So that was good. Now we're going to go on to a stock Motech edition car. Should be a little bit quicker. So it feels more planted from the passenger seat.
It does, even though there's definitely less grip on the track with the rain going down.
Yeah.
Still good grip on the brakes. Last time we could feel the traction through here sort of giving away.
Wow.
Let's go for another one, I think. We'll go quicker.
Wow! Yes, man. What a legend!
You can definitely feel it's got more grip, more poise.
Oh, yes! So we've just been for a hot lap in the Motech edition, Tony Lewis's car, which has got basically suspension upgrades. So it's lowered and it's got spacers, so a bit more of a stance, Motech stance. Ben, what did you think?
You can definitely tell the difference between that and the stock one we took out. It was just more balanced everywhere, particularly through the 2 corners that come onto the straights, onto the back straight and onto the home straight. They're quite quick corners.
Yep.
You turn in and you really feel more of a bite with that car, and it settles quicker, and that allows you to carry the speed through.
It's a better change in direction almost.
Yeah, it's what you would expect really from handling upgrades, suspension upgrades.
Yeah. And I noticed when Ben initially sat in it, immediately you went, God, how much lower is this car? And although, and I've talked about this in my previous Motech videos, that even though it's only like 20-25 mil, you do notice it immediately, don't you? You get in there, you're like, wow, it sits lower. So it's going to be interesting because we're going from this to David Yu's pretty tricked up one over there, which has got a number of upgrades. We'll go and talk about them now. David's got a fantastic YouTube channel. He's an ex-Evo writer. He's had an incredible car history, like most of them much more powerful than this beast behind us, so he knows how to handle car, and he knows his stuff very well. So it's interesting to see his take on what he's done with this car. It is your daily, right?
Yeah, it is, yeah. It follows on from the 135 I had before, also bought from TRL. But this time I decided I will take it out on the occasional track day, even if it's not a track day toy as such. So 2 months after I got it, I took it to Litchfield, who fitted a full Krapovich system, including the sport cap, quake limited slip diff, the rear underbody brace, and M4 low control arms. Because I found the problem with the 135 doesn't run any negative camber at all, so on track it really wears its outer front shoulder. So the M4 low control arms just push the bottom out a bit. And my car's done a day and a half on track already. It was at Bedford Autodrome in February, and it's come out today, and the front tyres have lasted a lot better than the other 140s.
And you can tell just rubbing your hand across it that it's actually wearing you can see the tyres getting hot, but it's wearing across the tyre as opposed to just the outside edge, which just gets punished. But yeah, it'd be interesting. So Ben and I are going to take this out. Oh, you've also got a map on it.
Oh yeah, exactly. So last week I took it to BW Chip Tune.
Yep.
And they installed a JV4 for me.
Right.
Supplied by BMW Performance, and that's really nice. So on map 0 it's stock, map 1 it's about 385 horsepower, map 2 is 415 horsepower,
wow.
map 3 is 425 horsepower. So yeah, it's definitely added a bit of poke to it.
Yeah. And lastly, I've got to mention that it's a manual, and it's a beautiful manual. You've got an M Performance like gear stick. So that's that's going to be interesting. That's going to add another element in there. Although there's probably only really 2 gear changes. Well, on this
second and third gear.
Second and third, yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting. But thanks a lot for giving you an awkward left hand shake.
Cheers, Joe.
But thanks for letting Ben and I take this out.
Cool.
And, yeah, see how it goes.
Have fun in it.
Cheers,
Thank you.
mate.
Bye.
Cheers. It feels very different in manual, the power delivery, doesn't it?
It really does. Yeah.
Wow.
End hooked up through there.
No.
Right, let's try and get a neater lap.
It doesn't like going into second, does it?
No, it doesn't. Struggled with that through the hairpin. Brake a bit harder and leave it in third. Try and power out.
Oh yes! Lovely. Woo. Nice. Woo. How's that, Ben?
Another one done.
Another one done.
Yeah, really interesting. Definitely a different feel to both of the previous 140s. If I had to pick a bone with it, I'd say it didn't feel as good on the front end, but that could be a consequence of the weather. You know, it's been you know, only spitting now, but for a little while.
There's a lot of variables going on.
There are a lot of variables. Tyre wear is all over the shop. But yeah, it felt really good. Apart from that, even on just the outlap, I said to you, I could feel the difference in it, just the stiffness of the chassis and the diff, especially going onto the back straight there.
Yep.
Yeah, fascinating, and completely different manual as well.
Yes,
that's obviously a huge
add
factor.
another element to it. Yeah. But yeah, no, from the passenger seat, it felt very well balanced.
Yeah.
But it did feel like it was moving around a lot more than the previous Motech one we've been in, and I think a lot of that's got to do with just the fact that that's sitting that bit lower, so the centre of gravity is lower. But that's an interesting car, it really is. It moves around a lot, and also, although the tyres are quite worn on all of them, you could feel that negative camber. Ben was loading it right up through corners, and it was pushing a bit, but you could feel that it wasn't folding over into the shoulder.
Once it did grip, it had really good turn to it.
Yes. Which is not a trait of the M lights, when usually it just runs out and then runs out, whereas that, when that hooked up. But anyway, that was cool.
Yeah.
Finally, we're going to go out in my one and see how that goes.
Joe Achilles edition.
Yes!
That's lift off oversteer. jumping straight out of David's and into this, it really makes you realise how much easier it is to drive paddle shift, especially on like a tight twisty track like this. Trying to go down through 3 gears before you're in a sharp turn 1 with a manual. It's so much more work to do than this. It's just,
and that's even for you who races manual cars and you love your manuals.
But the stuff I'm racing has like longer gears and stuff. You're not normally like down 3. But handling wise, yours is definitely a step up above the Motech and the stock again. You can tell. Difficult to compare it to David's because it's got different bits and, you know, mix and matching different things. It's hard to tell what would be an upgrade.
Manual cars, they're definitely slower around the track back to back, but it's more engaging and
it's
more
more involving.
You don't have to go set lap records.
As I said to you, David's car felt really fast. I don't know if what the lap time will be, but it felt really quick because it was so involved. You know, gear changing and the car's moving around more.
We don't know what the times are. We've got no idea. And to me, it felt like every car was a tiny bit quicker. I.e., the 123 is probably undoubtedly going to be the slowest because it's, you know, the tyres are pretty knackered.
It wasn't dry conditions.
It wasn't dry, and it's a diesel. You know, although it's a powerful diesel, it just doesn't have the shove that these things have got. And then they just seem to get progressively quicker. Thanks a lot for
my pleasure.
Thank you very much
for
always being such a champ. And as I say, make sure if you don't already, follow Benzine Ben on Instagram. Take it easy, guys. Cheers. Third horn, we go, yeah?
We'll be happy with that first one.
And here is, I was going to say a fresh Tony Lewis, but it's probably not. He's just had lunch as well. So have we got lunch down the footwell there, Sid? Or no? Oh, okay. And the funny thing is, Sid looks like he's just got out of bed. He's like, I don't understand what the fuss is about.
I seriously don't understand what the fuss is about. It's just
You're right there, Tony. Tony, actually your face is now colour coded to the car.
You're right, do you need a hand?
So how was that, Tony?
It's very, very sideways.
Very, very sideways.
I think this part of the rear car actually broke my back at one point.
Yeah.
And we had the window open, and literally I was getting flies in my teeth through the window. So.
Wow. Oh, sideways. Yeah, because you're going that far sideways. That's unlike you, mate.
But it's just a Golf going around.
It's just a Golf, yeah. Basically TDI, isn't it?
Yeah, TDI.
Yeah.
It says in the insurance form.
No.
Oh, yes! Such an animal.